here with Raid Shadow Legends to talk about the Doom Tower changes that they're going to have in the next 6 hours or so. The Doom Tower is changing, and it's not to be easier, it's going to be harder again. They did this last month already where they made the lower Doom Tower bosses have more resistance and accuracy. We were fine with that. It was warranted. It was very low. It did make things harder for some people, but we understand. It wasn't a game-breaking kind of mechanic that they did with that. We just had to come in there with more accuracy and more resistance. Now they're talking about making the Doom Tower bosses even harder. Since the release of the Doom Tower, we've been looking for ways we need to improve it while we're still working on the next full rotation. See, and that's the thing, right? They're kind of jumping ahead. I feel like they should be looking at the Doom Tower once a rotation gets into effect. Because right now, the boss is, the Frost Spider is at 120. Later on, if they do 4 different rotations and have each boss up at 120, it's going to be a totally different game. Like, we don't know how those bosses are going to function at 120. How hard are they going to be? So updating these bosses now, making them harder. And the way that they word this, we want to change the current metas consisting of specific champions, with the help of which only can you complete the Doom Tower challenges. So we can only complete them with the help of those champions, or they're saying those champions are really making it so that we can complete it. I don't know, but then they say, and make the pool of those viable champions more varied. First off, if you're kind of like taking away the ways that we're beating it, and I'm not saying change is bad. I like change. I like to make things challenging, but this game is very much, just take Spider 20 for example. You have to have specific champions to beat it. It's not that it's difficult or even a cool encounter, because we don't get to see that. We go in there and we burn down Spider 20. We use shields. We do off affinity tanks, turn meter reduction, do damage based off of enemy max HP. So we really don't even fight the spider and go through rotations for that. And for this, we kind of have done a lot of the same thing with some of these bosses. Not all the bosses. Some of them, we've done that. And if they take away the ability to do it, it's going to hurt a lot of people out there. Will it affect in-game players like myself? I don't think so. I think no matter what, we're going to be able to blow through it. But the people that are struggling, that barely even made it through, or are trying to find ways to make it through, I think it's really going to hurt that player base. And I'm not saying it's bad to do change. I'm just saying we should wait, because we haven't even rotated the Doom Tower yet. Let's look at the videos I've done so far so we can get an idea of what the changes are going to be tomorrow. We've done quite a few Doom Tower videos. We've got all the bosses right here. So let's look at the Scarab King. Scarab King, we've done this with Vergus. We've done this with 2 Vergus. We've done this with Vergus solo through there, different kind of gear on. Scarab King is actually a really hard boss to do. If you try to go in there and just tank the Scarab King, try to go in there and just not do turn meter reduction, it's pretty damn hard. So what do? We come in there with armigers. We try to bring off affinity allure if you want to. Anything we can do to do turn meter reduction, bring that turn meter down and just beat him without him taking a turn. Or we bring in champions to solo it, like we've done with Vergus here, Lord Chamfer, Lugan the Steadfast, all the rest that have shields. I've heard you could do it with Garush and a Stalwart set as well. Going through there, it takes a really long time. So there are ways for us to beat the Scarab King. If they remove that from us, if they make it to where we can't turn meter reduce it, which is already really hard to do anyways because the boss is super fast. We have to put a slow speed up. We have to do a lot of turn meter reduction. We have to get those champions we're using need 100% crit rate, and then they need really high accuracy. We got to get that accuracy up around 330. You can bring leads in as well. That'll help you. And you've seen that all from my guides. And you've seen the solo what we have to do. It's not like it's easy. Not like we're throwing in people without gear, and these are legitimate strategies. And then if you're in game, you come in here and do damage based off of enemy max HP. You bring in the Septimus, the Cold Hearts, the Royal Guards, or you put up a lot of poisons and you blow this boss up, like we do with a lot of bosses out there. Now that is strategy. If they take all that away, what are we going to do to combat the Scarab King? Because I've gone in there. You've seen me when we do our streams. We've gone in there many times with just champions to try to tank it out. Straight up tank this guy. And unless we come in there with 300 and something, 300 resistance and a really decent team, it's super hard to do, like almost impossible. So I don't know what they expect from us with this. Obviously, I'm not going to say they've done testing to know, because really, I mean, we've seen from this release and other releases, they don't really get in there and test this stuff, and that's not a big deal. We can test it out for them. Again, it's a little premature to go in there and do this right now. So right next to the Scarab King, we have Sorath, the Frost Spider. We've done this with a rare solo Coffin Smasher. We've done it with multiple legendaries. Everybody has really low accuracy. We don't need that 600 accuracy, so we've kind of gotten around the way the boss should function. And we've done that with a lot of things in the game. We have an unkillable clan boss for Ultra Nightmare, because nobody wants to go through the headache of making a normal team, because Ultra Nightmare is tuned too high for the average player, because you have to have, again, specific champions to go in there and function really well. So for that, with Sorath, the Frost Spider right here that we've done, You can do it with a group, sure, but it's much easier even at times to just do it with solo and lower accuracy. So if they change Sorath to make it even harder, we'll just have to see, and we'll overcome the challenge. We definitely will, but my fear is that it's going to make it so much harder for the average player, where they could do it before, or they were struggling, or they were so close to getting it done, or barely scraped by, and now you're really screwing it up right now for the average player, and we really haven't had a lot of time to test things. We still need more testing. I am not opposed to making things harder. I'm not opposed to making it so we can't come through here with our rare and beating this 120 hard spider. That's a big thing, right? Okay, let's go over to Agrith, the nether spider. Spider's the one that puts up all the poisons on you, has the little spiderlings that can counterattack, and you want to go in there. Well, what we did originally is we went in there with armigers and allures, and we do turn meter reduction like we talked about, and we keep the turn meter down so the boss never takes a turn, the spiderlings never come out. But with my video 4 days ago, I made it much easier. We don't even have to do that strategy. It's super easy. If you have a reliquary tender and a mausoleum mage, you come in there with your Sile of the Drakes, you can beat nether spider easily. Now, if they change the way for us to beat it with healers, which is what we're doing, right? We're removing all those poisons, we're healing ourselves, and we're killing the spider either with burns or with poisons. Super easy to do, much better for you to do with gear than to do the turn meter reduction strategy. Like, the gear you need for this is easy. But if they take all that away, what are we going to do? Like, how are we going to beat this spider if we can't come in there and do turn meter reduction to it so it doesn't take a turn, or we can't do it with the champions I have right now, removing everything and healing us? I mean, that's pretty much what you're supposed to do for the encounter without having any kind of AoE to mess with the spiderlings. Then how are we going to beat it? I don't get it. So we'll have to see what happens with this. I really don't think this current video that I have from 4 days ago will change. I'm telling you, no matter what they do to this spider, it is the easiest way to beat it, and it does not require crazy gear to go in there. The Magma Dragon is the last one we have on our list. I don't think they're going to change this guy. I've got a video here with three different panels going through here with a whole bunch of different champions. Provoke, that's all we need to do is provoke, get a decreased attack up on the boss, and we're good to go. I show multiple teams going through here. I'm using a rare sentinel a lot of the time in this. He's not that bad. He's really not as bad as I originally thought. I thought he was bad in the beginning, but he became much easier, you know, as we started testing out things. You bring in a seeker if you want to. There's a lot of champions that have a provoke nowadays, and with all the revivers we have too, you can come in there and even take the big hits and revive everybody back. I show you 3 different kind of revivers going through here with these teams, with rares provoking. Go check out that video if you haven't seen it for the Magma Dragon. Easy to do. Now, will all this change in the next 6 to 12 hours whenever they come out with this update? It could. It really could. But look for me on Twitch. I'm going to be, as soon as the 10-time summon goes live, I'll be on Twitch. The update should be coming around that time, so we can check it all out on Twitch. I'll do a follow-up video on anything that has changed for us. On my videos for the Doom Tower, you can come down here to comments and click this link right here. It'll pull up this sheet, and you'll be able to see any of the changes they're going to make on the Doom Tower. So last time they made changes, they put it all in yellow. So whoever's doing this data mining, just pay attention to the sheet. As soon as the new one comes out, and I'm going to be checking this every hour to see when this gets updated. And I'm sure whatever is new will be in yellow again. Any kind of new speeds or resistance or accuracy or any of that kind of stuff will be here, as well as I'll do a video going over any kind of updates that they make, any kind of changes that they make with the bosses in general, because I'm sure they're going to change some of their skills up. I would bet on that. Thanks everybody so much for watching. I appreciate your time. Please subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you all in a video soon.